Welcome to our podcast. I've changed the name from LSK Showcast because I feel like I want it to be everyone's podcast. So it's now our podcast. I don't think I'll be having any dramatic intro. I want this podcast to be about like the conversations. I just want it to be like chilled vibes. The vibes. So our first guest is somebody who was on the previous podcast. You guys already know him as the international boyfriend, Zambia's international boyfriend. Soon it will be, because international boyfriend, it will be international boyfriend Kuchalo, entrepreneur, social media enthusiast, Chanda Brian.
Hello. We meet once again.
Yeah, we meet once again. It's nice to have you back. I think out of all the episodes I did, yours was like the best. Yeah, people love you, Chanda Brian. And now, since you're an international boyfriend, the pies, they must be all over you. How's your DMs like?
Wow.
Sometimes you post like screenshots on your Instagram where some pie was like, she's like, can I just come over? I don't know what she's saying.
Like each time I put something like I want to cook, they'll be like, can we come cook for you?
Can we?
Maid. And some others will be like, no, they just want to be staying with me. I don't need to pay them. So it's crazy.
I'm sure you're enjoying that. The crib, Vexé.
It's crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy. But how's business been going so far?
Business has been okay. Can't complain. So, mid-month gets a bit slow, but that's what I use to like bring up new ideas, open up new stores and stuff like that. Yeah. So I remember we rescheduled this. We were supposed to do it last week. I was busy. I was doing something in Kabwe, so we're opening something in Kabwe. September 1st, we should open a store in Kabwe.
How many stores do you have right now? You should keep opening stores.
It's needed.
How many do you have right now?
I'm going on my feet now.
Fifth store. So you've got one in
Lusaka, Kitwe. Then I also have another food eating places. I like two in Lusaka. We have one Aden, one's in Kabwata.
So wait, the clothing stores, the clothing and mobile stores, how many are those?
The clothing, we have two. There's one in Lusaka, one in Kitwe. Then the third one will be in Kabwe. But I'm thinking of doing it. I'm trying to open two at once, but I don't think time will allow. So the next spot is Chingola.
Two clothing stores, and then the three remaining
three clothing stores, two eating places.
Oh, okay. Crazy. How do you manage? Last time I asked you when we were, but we couldn't get like deep into the conversation. How do you manage to like manage all these stores? People were also asking like on the questions I put on Instagram.
Okay, I feel you need to learn how to handle one because the main store that I keep like focusing on, like I study it each and every day. I learn something new is the store I have in Lusaka. So there you get your basics. You make a system where, because your other stores, you won't be there. So first thing, you need your cameras. You need a proper system. So and then, I have CCTV on all of them. And then you have watching those. You don't have to be lazy. And then the other thing that you need is a system. So I'm able to track all sales. Like when something is sold in Kitwe, I'll know. The stock levels, I'll know. The next time.
Don't you need an accountant? Don't you need a general manager? Because you're doing everything, like marketing, management. You're also doing security.
For me, it's like, I'm in many departments, so I just call myself that ultimate guy. So I'll do like 5 things. The accounting part, I handle it. Management, I handle it. Then marketing, I handle it. Stock purchases, the supply chain, all that.
Yeah.
So you just have to focus and just like you get used to it. So it's just something like that I'm used to.
I'm asking this question because I've been working with like a lot of companies, right? Yeah. And they usually need agencies. Like even as an influencer, or content creator, that like agencies are always reaching out to us. So it's actually like a lot of work just to even manage like one, like let's say big company, because there's like human resource, there's like accounting, like taking account of every single kwacha that's being spent. Then there's the marketing department. Then there's obviously the management department as well. So do you feel like at some point, because I don't know, like right now you're young, but I feel like eventually you'll need like that structure, the business structure of like you've got different managers, branch managers. You've got you're very good at marketing, so you'd probably be the one curating how the marketing is done, but you'd still need a marketing department, and then also just have people for sales and have like accountants, like professional accountants. Do you think that's part of your plan?
Yes, I do have certain people, like when I'm busy, I do have someone who helps with the accounting part and stuff like that. But then why I'm not rushing into hiring those people is I need to, like I said, you need to study the business yourself first. Because sometimes, you hire human resource, let's say, as you've said, you get an accountant, a manager, and then, it's a job for them and they won't have the same passion as you have. So I want to know how the business flows. Of course, that's a plan because as the brand keeps growing, I won't be able to do all this because already it's stress. You have to be in Cabo, you have to be in Lusaka. So I feel with time we all need that. But for now, what I advise, even if you're starting up your own brand, is you need to know what's happening. Even you, before you put an admin to your Facebook to handle your social media, you had to chill first, like, okay, first, how do I engage with these people? What goes on and stuff like that. That way you avoid, let's say, slow sales and stuff like that. So I feel you, the business owner, you have to study your business first before you engage other people to manage it for you. And slowly I'll get there, but of course I will need that in the future.
Yeah. So there's a time, like in the previous, okay, there's one thing about you, like the social media version of you, like you're really like thick-skinned. Like sometimes I look at like some of the things that like you entertain, like you're so strong on social media. Sometimes I feel like, okay, I don't want to say I'm not strong, but like I think I'm more
Hey, you cry too
sensitive.
much, right? I always say your post when something happens.
Okay, the thing is with
Down a
me,
lot, eh?
me the thing is I like to express myself. I like to like be vocal. Like when something is going on, I want my audience and my fans to know that my life is not perfect. Like I'm also dealing with, like I'm fighting.
Which is true, because like everyone on social media, they try to make life look like perfect. Even many people running businesses, everyone's trying to look like successful. They make the sales, but on the ground, it's very hard sometimes.
Bulky on the ground.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I like being. I'm a very like expressive person. I'm a very like vulnerable person, and I think it does well for like my brand because I've had like let's say the manager or like the CEO of a company, like we meet up, maybe we're discussing like a campaign or like business and collaboration, and they tell me, yo, I saw your post about when you said A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and like, don't worry, everything will be fine. So some girl shared one of my posts saying, Mix likes playing the victim. I'm always like crying, but I don't think I can ever stop because
You have to express
it's ups
yourself.
and downs. I show you guys like the good side when something amazing happens, but I also like to show you when I'm going through something. And also, whenever I post, the comments of people who are telling me, don't worry, everything will be fine. Like some people even give me good advice, like you need to consider doing A, B, C, D, E, F, G. So it's actually very therapeutic for me. But you guys are laughing at me, mentioned your Brian, they're laughing at the
For
toughest
me,
on.
for me, I also go through hard times, but for me, I love seizing it as an opportunity. I learn from my mistakes mostly, and that's one thing I keep going through. Even if I explain to you what I was going through my June, July, it's been rough, but then I feel certain things when you open up certain people. For me, that's how I feel. I feel they use that as your weakness to get into your inner life and stuff like that, So like for me, when such happens, I just think of how will I convert this to sales, and it happens like that. 'Cause,
Yeah, I think, yeah.
let me give a good example of how my June was. June was, I think, one of the. It's like I took 10 steps back, yeah.
But June, you were looking like you're
That's the thing. That's the
cutting.
thing. So you have to maintain that good image. Then at the back, whatever you're going to, you just have to fight through strong, Because imagine there's my main shop in town, yeah. What happened was the man I've been paying rentals to the whole year hasn't been the owner of the property.
Which main shop?
The main shop in town, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like the man we've been paying rentals to wasn't the actual owner of the property. Like he has no title to that property.
Oh,
That's what was going on. And imagine you've paid this person for the whole year. And then what happened is we renew. June is when we renew. So I was like, anyway, I have that list. I trust this guy. So I paid for like 3 months because now I pay like $1,500 per month. So I gave this guy about $4,500, which was about 90,000 kwacha. And then a few days later, the actual owners pop up, like they're the owners of this.
they're like, what's cutting?
Yeah, and then you're now forced to pay 2 times that amount. So it's like you lose 180K down the drain. So what do you do to capitalize? You can't open up. For me, I just believe like, okay, you just have to come back strong, you know.
I agree. I feel like, okay, for me, like the stuff I share on social media, especially when it comes to the downfall, sometimes it's just the surface. It's very deep. Like I can really go into detail and mention names of like gatekeepers. There's been like a lot of gatekeepers for me in the entertainment industry. Yeah, like it's crazy. That's why I've just been pushing as an independent creative, because
Which is
you
actually
just know
paying
how
off.
people are. You know what I mean? You know how people are, like they always want to feel like they should get 60 to 70% if they're going
Work
to
and-
give you an opportunity.
That's the
But
thing.
yeah, I never like go into the details, but like yeah, we all deal with like a lot of things. But that's crazy what happened to you.
And I love it. You express it sometimes through art, because sometimes I'm watching your series and I'll be like, okay, this I'm sure this is something that has happened to him, but it's just trying to open it up to someone. Someone might pick it up.
Exactly. Yeah,
And,
definitely.
it's actually educative.
Definitely, because even with This is Lusaka, some of the stories are even just stories I've witnessed other people go through. I'm an empath. An empath is somebody, like when you tell me your problem, I really feel like the pain you're going through. So a lot of those stories just came from a place where I'm observing. Like, you know how LSK is. You know how LSK is. Like,
crazy.
you've been running LSK for a long time, Chanda. So you know the vibe.
I remember the old days when you come up my store that time. I just have few items by then.
Yeah. Remember, I reached out to you last time. I was like, yo, I want to be like your content creator. I want to be. And then you were like, you were not ready. You're like, yeah,
For me, I was more into sales, but then I look at you now, yeah.
Yeah. True. So I'd like to talk about this time, like this podcast is themed more towards like mental health. Like I was talking about you being thick-skinned, and how do you deal with like, in as much as like yeah, you convert everything to sales, but how do you deal with some of the things that really get to you? Like maybe somebody's saying something, somebody's sharing something, and you're just like, you know what, like this is too much. How do you deal with that? And I think I really want to know, because you know people who look strong and thick-skinned like you, like I don't want a situation where one day you just feel like ending it all, one day you just feel like dipping, leaving us, you know, we'll be touched. So like how do you really deal with like your mental health in like everything that goes on in your life, both offline and online?
Yeah, so for me, I feel one thing I love to do is like I enjoy what I do. So many times, if something bad happens to me, it's when you see me like working that extra mile, trying to go through and push through. But many times when I break down, it's mostly, you know, you have a bad day and then a drive, just stay home, watch a movie or something. But then the best way I handle all this is I just work a bit extra hard to just forget about it. I feel when something bad happens to me and then I have a busy day, I easily forget about it. And then there are certain people who like try to get to you, like, you know, there'll be most of these online guys, because the thing about social media, everyone thinks they can tell you anything and you just watch them, you know. So sometimes for me, I would go through comments. I never take bad comments, like slightly, you know, you find this guy from nowhere, he doesn't even know you. He goes like, hey, what you're saying, blah 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 blah, or he tries maybe to say something bad. Mostly like when my models, mostly for me, like I'm used, like if I post a picture of myself, like you told me something like, nah, yeah, you haven't done this right. But I hate it when I post any of my models and then someone tries to get maybe on how they look, how they for me, I don't take that lightly. I don't care who you are, I'll clap you back just there. And then most people now, that's when they try to start playing victim. No, you would have just let it be. I'm like, do you guys understand what the person is going through? For me, I'm used, like, but I don't take it lightly when you like try to bully someone who you don't even know, you don't know what they're going through, and you're just able to say something bad. I'll literally give you the same energy. And then if you try to play sympathy, like, nah, why are you telling me this? That's how I was born. You know, imagine someone says, this model, she's so dark. Then I go check the guy's DP. This guy has a big ass nose.
Wait, she's so dark.
Yeah, people pass us comments. Like, you know, there are certain models those they've got that dark glow, and then you are trying to mix it up.
Yeah, colorist. Like,
Yeah. So I try
trying
and
to make
mix
fun
up.
of them for being dark.
Exactly.
And what's
And
painful about that is, while like black people, and then you're trying to make it seem like the color that you also have on your skin is a bad thing.
You know what hurts the most? These comments are for people who look like, I don't even know how I can describe them. You know, and me, I'll tell you point on, like, you're telling this person that. I mean, look
You
at
see
how you
yourself.
look. And then they'll be like, no, this is how I was born, blah, 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 blah. And then I failed to understand that.
Nothing has ever happened between you and the models.
Me and my models, as in, what do you mean?
As in, so like there's never been like.
Wait,
any-
ask the question to the mic.
So has anything ever happened between you and your models? You seem to be very close.
Me and my models. Like, what do you mean? What do you want to happen to me? And my models?
Something.
What thing?
Something real. Because there are a lot of models like Chandra Brand, like, and those models that you post, like, I know my girl is here, but like man to man, those models that you post.
You won't sleep home, you.
Next week. Yeah, that's a good question. Like, have you ever had like a fling like with some of your models, or like have you maybe even just genuinely like felt attracted to them? Like, ish, me and you are catching vibes, and I know they're definitely attracted to you. At least maybe 99% of them, you know. Plus now you're single, and you're the international boyfriend.
Yeah, on the single part, I've been receiving a lot of hit, but mostly like if it's work, we'll do the work. But then there are those later on that like text you, can we go for a drink, blah 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 blah.
Do you go for the drink?
But it's a free invitation. We go for it.
I guess your question has been answered.
But not like with everyone. But I try first the work. Then if you still want to be friends and stuff like that, we'll proceed. We'll be friends.
Cool. Yeah, ish. You have to keep it professional, you know, and like if you wanna keep on working together, you have to keep it like extremely professional. Yeah, that's crazy. Like trolls on social media, like haters, it gets crazy sometimes. But I saw a funny comment. I just saw it. I was scrolling. It was a guy. He was attracted to you. He was attracted. He was feeling you.
That's the
I was
thing.
like,
And you know what has
in
been
public.
happening, yeah? Sometimes you post a picture, a guy will share it, I'm wait. I'm like, what the hell? So,
A guy, and I'm wait.
But that one just went overboard. So,
Yeah. And so you responded, you were pissed. I'm like, I won't say what you said, but you're like, I was like, that was the first time I saw you like, yeah,
that's the
pissed.
thing. Like, such comments mostly, I don't tolerate such.
But was it a guy? Like he was a
It
guy.
was a guy, bro. It was a guy. His profile, it was a guy. Because I always go through such before I clap back or something like that. And
Yeah, like it's an on. He's a bar. He wasn't even ashamed.
Such guys scare me, man. You have such in your DM?
When I was single, it used to happen like a lot. It used to happen a lot, but like, okay, for me, I just never used to like respond. I used to just sometimes
That's the
I tell
thing,
them
'cause-
respectfully, like, yo, please.
Sometimes on my business number, such people text, but then I don't handle it. So
Have you ever received like pictures from an on like
last on my business number, yeah?
they're performing? They're
On
performing.
my business number, like my assistants go through a lot. They'll just be like, look what's happening. The ladies also, that's the crazy world, man. The crazy world.
I need to be your assistant for like 5 hours. I want to see what's
enjoy
catching.
because it's crazy there.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like back to like how you deal with like social media. I think you've like from this conversation you've already like given like a brief of like how you deal with it. I think what I'm getting from this is like, yeah, workaholic. Say addicted to the work. I think it's something I can relate to because even me when I'm like really stressed, I feel like people are gatekeeping because TILU on its own was inspired by like a lot of people in this TV production houses were reaching out to me and like promising me a lot of things. I think I posted about it.
Yeah.
But then it really hurts when people promise something to you and they
don't
say then they
stick to
don't
the word.
deliver. It makes me feel like I'm not good enough, you know, and then I look at my potential, I look at my fans are telling me I am good enough. So that's how I just took the initiative to just become an independent creator and just keep on creating until I get there. You know what I mean? It hasn't been easy. Like even till I told you I spent so much money because you're like, yo, the quality is dope. But I was like,
I had to ask because there are certain things that a normal person, like those people are not in the business field, they won't even be able to see like, okay,
yeah.
this is happening there, but I could tell that was that was you spent so much
I
there.
spent so much. I'd saved up all the money I was getting. Like, I know sometimes it looks like I'm working with like too many brands. I'm always working with brands, but like these brands actually help me invest money back into what I create. But very soon I'm opening up a Patreon and I'm opening up like donations because it will help me create quicker rather than like I'm always waiting to like gather money. So very soon I'll be sharing like incentives for people to start donating because it's actually a thing. I was speaking to some content creators in South Africa and they're like, yo, and I also watched another video that just talked about how to make money as a content creator. Like first thing is affiliate marketing, what we do. Like when you work with like Yango, when you work with like Steers, etc., Vox, that's affiliate marketing. And then there's merchandise. So I'm also about to drop a new merch line. And then there's also donations like from your core fan base. Even if it's 10 kwacha, 20 kwacha, when you accumulate that money, you're able to invest it. So I'm supposed to release, I want to do a feature film. So very soon I'll be setting up like an incentive for people to donate. What do you think about that? People are saying, oh, the tough one wants to start asking people for rack, say.
The hardest one.
You know the vibe?
It's needed. But there are people who, and even I feel sponsorships, maybe if you just approach, there are many brands who would love to work with you, honestly.
Yeah, but the thing is, I need to work with the right brands, and I can't work with too many brands. But the thing is, my fans also need to get involved. It's a thing. Even like big YouTubers in the US have donations, even on YouTube. So it helps. Like let's say there's like 100 people. They all send like 100 kwacha or 50 kwacha. That's a lot that I can do. I can pay for equipment. That can be transportation for 3, 4, 5 days shooting. So, and the thing I'm saying, I need to do this because my fans are always asking, like, we want no content. We want already the one season 2 for TILU. I'm like, guys, people release seasons for things every 3 years. But if you want them soon, we have to come together. Because I think I've already proved it to them that like I'm capable of like delivering quality. I'm trying my best.
And you can see the improvement, yeah, because like from the starter pack, Lusaka starter pack, and then the TILU one was actually very nice.
Yeah, and there's a lot of corruption like in the entertainment industry. People will receive 500,000 to 1 million kwacha to 1.5 million, but they only want to spend 150,000 on you, and then they eat the rest of the money. You know how people like are always just stealing so much money. There's a lot of money for all these things, but
that's
for you to get access to it, you have to know, like you have to know someone. You have to get involved in what's going on, and like I don't have time for that. I need to focus on what I'm doing. You know.
I even have a question also about your. So when those things were happening in that episode, it cut.
Which episode?
You know what I'm talking about.
Okay, first I'm going to start. Who? Rochelle.
She knows herself.
Rochelle.
What was happening in that guy?
What was scary? I don't know.
What happened? I'm curious.
You saw what happened.
So even there, it happened.
Nah, like we're just filming. Okay, let me be honest with you. When you're filming sex scenes, it's not as exciting when you're filming it. It's not. It's exciting maybe the first take.
Maybe if you're doing someone you don't like. Huh? But these two enjoy it.
They were enjoying. Even Lester was enjoying. She was enjoying.
So like nothing cuts when you guys are doing your acting. Like nothing cuts.
To be honest, it's very stressful. There's a lot of people. Like just imagine you are with your pie.
I mean, I can chop. I can chop.
So even me, I'm there. I'm looking at you in your eyes with your pie. You still continue.
Last.
I'm dead. It's just very stressful. For me, I feel like I didn't enjoy it as much because I was directing. You're worried about the lights. You're worried about the time. You're worried about this.
But you guys get in the moment, yeah? Because, you know, there's this other series I've been watching. What's this South African series that has been trending?
Fatal Seduction.
Yeah. So all that action, nothing happened.
Those ones in Fatal Seduction, they look like they're enjoying, man. I won't lie. It looks like it's happening for real.
If you need the actor, hire me.
I already told you, I was like, I want to shoot something with
something.
you. Because I saw what you did with Bawiso.
Yeah. That was the first time I was on camera. I was so scared. I'm quite shy.
You did a good job.
So I'm not used, but maybe with time.
No, don't worry. For me, I have like a process, like character building. Maybe like a month, we're going through the script, we're going through the lines. I just want to do like something creative with you. I was telling Lester about it. She was like, Chanda Brian, he can act. I was like, yeah, like she didn't see the video.
We should work on something. It's actually
Definitely.
interesting, you know. It's stressful when recording, but it's so fun when you're watching it.
Yeah, definitely. I think people would love to see that.
We should work on something.
Yeah, so I think we're gonna go through some of the questions that people were asking. A lot of people asking business-related question. Okay, this guy is asking how to nab pies. How do you nab honey?
For me,
So what's like a Chanda brand game strategy? Now there's a pie. Even though you're already Chanda brand, but like they say pie. What are the steps? What are the steps? This is the Chanda brand international boyfriend blueprint live. Get your pens, get your papers, get your phones. Start writing, start taking notes before he starts talking. Go.
Bro, I won't even lie to you. It's only one thing, man. You have to make the money, honestly. That's all you need. Because, like, for me, way back, I couldn't even get, not even a single girl. I'll try to talk to a girl. Hi, they fresh you. I think I still have those messages on my Facebook. I'll go through them someday, you know. They'll fresh you. Hi, hello, hey, you're nice, you're beautiful, nothing. But these days, I feel it's just a neutral thing. Like, just be a busy guy, keep working. They will be coming. Better girls are coming. Not even the things, I almost said the things you're with, sorry about that. Not even the items you're with, like the better, way better items. So, and I feel the more you make the money, the better they keep coming. The better they keep coming. And it's even easy to talk to them. You won't even need to explain.
What if she has rack also?
That one, draw.
Draw.
For that one, you act neutral, but for me, it's quite hard for me, I feel, as at now, to even find a partner, like someone with the right intentions and stuff like that. Yeah. But I've put certain limits. Like, if I am to go for someone this time, it has to be someone at least have on the same level. At least should have it's either she's educated or has the money, you know, so that at least no one is benefiting on someone. It's just neutral like that, you know. Yeah. That's what I feel a relationship should be.
There's a reason why Jay-Z is with Beyonce or like Kim is with Kanye. You know what I mean? Like, there's a reason. It's called hypergraphy. Like, the more successful you become, you have a lot of options and more women are attracted to you. So, but then even you as a successful man, because you have a lot of options, it's now very difficult for you to pick.
And the other thing is that you just don't have to be, you know, what's that video? You are a fanboy. Don't let this girl sleep with you anyhow, is it?
Which one is that? I don't know that.
The sound, something like that. Just don't let, you know, when you start getting the money, of course, the girls will start coming to you, but don't fall for any gym and jack that comes your way. Just because a girl likes you, you want to chop. Just because they want to do this with you, you want to do it as well.
For you, Chanda Brand, it's not just the money. Also, there's also the fame. Like, say, the cloud. There's also the gram. There's Facebook. Right now, we're even about to do something for YouTube. Right now, like, this is the fame. So now, what if I'm on, like, is it just like money alone? Like, what about the fame? Like, even like just the drip.
That adds up. Okay, it's hard for me to explain honestly, because for me it's like the more people know you, the more you make your money, the more the ladies come your way. Mostly, okay, when I was dating, at least there was that limit and stuff like that. But as of now, it's just like open bullets. Anyone just says whatever they want to say, Yeah, it's crazy. Like
I think for me, I won't lie. Like, even before the fame, like I posted like on my WhatsApp yesterday, like before the fame, I've always been for pies, Excel. Like, I don't want to lie. Before even the rack,
we can tell.
I've always been for the pies, even since high school. She's touched. No, you can go. Let's say you can go this time. I'm about to. Yeah, but I think she knows this. I also tell her, like, listen, like, I know right now I've got rack. There's a caffeine, there's a popularity, but I've always been for the pies. Even right now, if I fall off the pies, they'll still be. Okay, some of them. There are some, they've got intention.
But, I've been wanting to ask this question. Yeah. Do you think in the near future, when people get married, things will just be right like the old days? Or would this marriage still even exist?
In our generation?
Yeah, just imagine she's just not here.
To be honest with you, I feel like it can work out. And for me, like now that like I'm growing up, I've realized that
No, as
somebody
in,
who
just
needs-
imagine she's not here.
no, for real. Like I'm being honest. The reason why I'm in like a stable relationship now is I just know how important it is to have like a partner, somebody that you're building with, somebody that you're growing with. And I had my fun. Like I had my fun. I went through that phase, like from high school, early university. Like I had so much fun, and I think you just reach that point where now, for me, I'm focused on like the content, the work. I don't have time. You know what I mean? I don't have time. And like you said, even you're looking, you're searching, but the person has to.
For me, I'm not searching. Sorry about that. I'm done. Eh?
Nah, I feel like you
And
know,
I feel for me, I'm more focused right now. Like being a single gent, I feel I'm way more focused.
me, I've talked, I've refused.
Because like there are certain goals I just want to achieve. Then maybe, but I feel
Nah, I've refused.
Needs companionship.
ah,
But don't you need some companionship also?
companionship. For us, how can I even explain this? If I find the right person, maybe I must say. Because as of now, like everyone who seems to be interested in me, it's obvious, what they want and stuff like that. So as of now, I feel sometimes just being single, knowing yourself, and that's the space I'm trying to give. Oh, for me, I started fast. God, and I'm 17 and I'm already.
Yeah, I'm Baba
16,
Kamba.
and I even feel tired right now. I'm like, if I go again, same thing.
That's why you have to settle down. But like, listen, this.
I tried 2 times.
Now, you know what? Let me tell you something. Like, I feel like first of all, you, Chanda Brand, you're a lover boy.
That's the thing.
Yeah, a
But
lover
no.
boy. You're
Was.
Mr. Romantic, bombastic, fantastic. Nah,
Was.
yes, you still. Me, I used to see you like, you when you love, when Chanda Brand loves, say
That's the thing. Tunaponeramo.
he loves
And I lose
everything.
my sense.
He will put the Benz, the money. Okay, I don't know about the money, but like he'll put, the money. I'm sure he keeps it. He'll put everything. But like you're a lover boy, and I feel like you just have to keep on like obviously focusing and working, and I feel like your match will come. It will make sense. It'll be somebody in your league. You know what I mean? Somebody that makes sense for you. Because even I went through a phase. For me to even reach like this position I'm in where I'm stable, like I was just meeting like different people, weird people. I had my own situations as well. You know what I mean? Like fallouts and everything in relationships. But I feel like eventually you'll need Mrs. Chanda Brand, the queen now, the queen of the empire.
We don't know where we'll find her.
Now she's going to come. Guys, listen, comment if you feel like you're the queen, right?
That's in what we say. There's no stock, unavailable stock.
There's always
Out
stock,
of stock.
say. But yeah, it's called hypergraphy. Like once you become successful, it starts becoming difficult for you to pick a partner. But I feel like men and women, like to procreate, we need a Kachanda Brand. Like, say,
Like a child will come, but not the wife or girlfriend. Like a child will come.
Static, she needs to come with the queen and say she's chilling here. You know what I mean? She's chilling here, she's counting the racks. No, we've made a profit. Baby, we've made a profit. You know the vibes?
Yeah, but
Soon,
that's
soon.
actually dope. I think of such, but
And you should take a family. Like, and I
We
feel like when you have
tried.
a child, I can't wait to see the person you're going to become when you have a child. Because you know how people start working hard, they start grafting, they start pushing when they have children. You now, that's when now we'll see that you just own the whole levy, the whole town now is owned by Chanda Brand. I see it. But the queen she has to be there. To my youngsters, they're playing with the money, burning the money, the vibes.
anyway, hopefully. But as for now, I'm just trying, I'm just trying to focus on myself, being me, what I do best, and then with time, hopefully we'll find the right partner.
What do you feel like you've been struggling with, like in relationships? Like, what's the common thing? Like,
For me, I feel what kills me is the time. Time kills me last. I'm one person, like I have little or no time to be, like how can I, like I'm that person, like Monday to Friday I'm busy. I only get free in the evening, and then I feel time kills me. But then I do save time. Like if I mean it, like I've made time for it, either we'll go somewhere special, we'll fly out somewhere, we'll have a good time and stuff like that. But then when I'm working, that's why if I'm to find someone, it has to be someone that's busy as me, even when we're both working. You don't have that mentality like this guy is obviously cheating on me and stuff like that. And something that happens me mostly, you find like you're in a meeting, Let's say like the one we're here right now is like 19, yeah, and I haven't been home from morning. Someone have a mind say, nah, no, it's with other girls, blah 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 blah. But in the actual
Insecurity.
sense, you're just busy. So I feel time is what kills me. I feel all my relationships, time has killed me the most. I'm mostly busy, and then I have little time for my partners.
So when you were in a relationship, was it a situation where like maybe you haven't talked to her the whole week? Because again, when you were in relationships, like you used to look like you used to spend a lot of time together, like quality time, like vacations, everything. So that wasn't enough.
I feel so. Women are quite hard though, but
Women are quite hard.
women are quite hard. I won't even lie.
So now what's going to happen? Let's say you're in a relationship and then you're both busy. Like, isn't that a problem as well? Like if you're both busy. Like what if when you're free, she's busy? When she's free, you are busy. What's going to happen? Maybe you guys need to work together, like
Yeah, that's the thing. That's the thing. That's what I was
maybe
trying
at
to
the
do.
same company.
Yeah, like I just want someone who's like involved in what I do, and I'm involved in what she does as well. So I feel more balanced. If she has her businesses, I'm involved. I'm able to help out, and then if I'm having my businesses, she's able to come in. She's able to help out as well. So I feel it just has to be someone. Obviously, my main interest is maybe a lawyer or something like that, or an accountant.
I think a lawyer would be good.
Those two things, because I feel when I have these issues like this that have been hitting me, it's about control.
Yeah.
When I'm doing the management, she's checking on
really
my
good
books, and
lawyer.
then, yeah. But for me, I feel I just need a smart lady.
Yeah.
Smart, intelligent, and then someone who just has my back always.
Yeah, I think I noticed one thing about you in like obviously like you put your relationships out there. Okay, I also put my relationships out
But
there.
for me, my next, I don't think so.
You don't think so?
Nah.
I saw you building like some of the girls that you were with and like involving them into becoming entrepreneurs. And I think that's one thing I like really respected about you.
Yeah.
I could see them grow. And I don't mean to talk bad about them, but like as soon as you guys broke up, they kind of like disappeared. You know what I mean? So I feel like maybe you've always been passionate about like at least maybe
Yeah,
she
I'm
doesn't
always
have
that
it.
guy. Like I'll
Building her.
push you on. Like even if you're not into it, I'm like, come on, we can do it and stuff like that. Then
Yeah.
I feel that's me. That's the good part about me. But then the bad part is I won't really have time if you're not involved in what I do. But it gets fun sometimes, you know. Like over the sudden you have a business trip, you have to go to Kabwe, you have to travel out, you have to go get your stuff and stuff like that. It's fun like that. But then again, I feel when you're too free in a relationship and then there's no productivity. Because I feel these days, you know, without the money, of course, yes, the love will be there, but it's a catalyst on its own. It speeds up stuff and stuff like that, you know.
But
So-
there's this stereotype that, especially with like a lot of females, not all females, where they kind of expect you as like the man to just like provide. The first thing. Second thing is even a lot of guys feel like I don't want to just say just on the females. Even a lot of guys just want like a girl. She's just indoors. You know, she's not going out. She's not talking to other guys at some workplace. They want to have control over them.
Yeah.
A lot of people might think that you would want to be in a relationship where, like, you already work hard on your own. Like, you kind of don't need, like, okay, I feel like every man does need a powerful woman to multiply what you have. But for you, you've already done it yourself. You're already doing it yourself. So, what impression can you give towards that stereotype in terms of like a woman doesn't need to just sit? Like why let me try like rephrase the question. Like why should people feel like you won't just provide for everything? Like you won't be comfortable just finding like maybe a girl that loves you, she understands maybe your schedule, but you just be providing everything for her.
So you mean like why do people feel like if I did them, I'm supposed to provide everything for
Yeah,
them?
like because right now you stipulated that you're not really, you want somebody who works hard, somebody who's smart, somebody
Yeah.
in your league,
Yeah.
which is very normal. Because even me, it's the same thing. You know, like you've even seen me and my partner how we work together. Like it's always been a no-brainer for me. Like you have to have a work ethic. My reason is, what if I get sick? Like we're married, I get sick. I don't want a situation where my kids are suffering.
Yeah,
I
that's
want
true.
you, like I need a queen, and a queen can run a kingdom. So when I'm sick, maybe something happens, I'm sick for even like 6-7 years. I need to have a woman who can be able to take care of everything. Maybe not to the same level, but at least like we're surviving. You know what I mean? So that's why I feel like it's very, very important.
It's quite important.
So that's why I'm saying, like, on your end, why aren't you that guy who feels like, you know what, I can already make this money myself. I can just have like a stay-at-home wife or a girl or a buyer who's not really doing anything.
The thing is, I feel I have a huge problem with people who are just lazy. Like, you know, I respect providing for a woman. That's what a man should do. You have to keep her safe. Like, you have to make sure the simple things, the hair, nails, and stuff like that are in check. But then when it comes to work, she also has to help you, push you to the next level. You know, there are certain times like I'll feel like up this level up and on manimfika, but then she needs to push you extra. Like, nah, this is not enough. I need you to do something way better.
Yeah,
you know,
you can do better.
Yeah, like someone who's not really impressed by simple things like cars, what
material things.
like that. Yeah, that's the thing. So I need someone who push me to that extra mile. They'll tell me, okay, this is not enough. You can do better. You know, even if they're not doing something, but just giving me that extra force is what I need. And then of course I'll be like, okay, come on, you want me to push harder? Let's do it together. Let's go the next level. So that's what I'm really expecting.
Yeah, I think that makes sense, and I think to every young guy out there, there's a lot of pressure on both genders. Like,
yeah, and then the other thing that I feel like most of the ladies around, they want a well-to-do man, already built man, but then there's one thing they forget as well. Like, you know, when you are well built, of course, you get many options, like I said, and then you look at yourself, the lady who wants a well-to-do man. School, insufficient funds, like your upkeep, you can't provide the basic needs. You have to, like, 100%, you need a man for you to survive. Keep up with the lifestyle that you portray out there.
Some on top of that are disrespectful, and they have an attitude, you know what I mean? They don't have a good heart, you know what I mean?
That's a bit disturbing for me, and then that's what I've been seeing around. That's why I now see, like, young ladies are now with the old men, because the old men are now quite tired, and then they just need someone who they can just be with. But then energetic guy in your age group who's doing well, and then there's just you.
Yeah, you have to keep up.
Who just wants a well-to-do man and just want to be home, he provides. Then those guys have better options around, better girls who come through and stuff like that. And I feel there just has to be that balance, you know.
What do you think about these spies that have got blessers now? Because it's
that's the thing. That's the same thing I'm trying to talk about.
It's
like honestly, your bank account, you have like, I don't know, 30,000 kwacha, then a champagne lady every weekend. I'm like, is this normal? Without this man, will you survive?
Yeah. But wait, she's got 30,000.
And then every weekend
30,000 is a lot, Dixie.
For maybe it's actually maybe even worse. There are even certain ladies, I don't
maybe
know.
Even 500 kwacha, bro. She's got 500. I'm telling you. Some of these spies, they go to the club,
I was in
20
such an
kwacha.
encounter. Like, I went to the club and
30K.
stuff like that.
30K, at least you can pay rent for like what? For how, like, what? 4-5 months.
But isn't a bottle of champagne like 3K and stuff like that? And then
so wait, she has 30K and then she's spending the 30K?
No, I feel like, okay, how can I even put this? Okay, mainly, I don't want to say there are other independent women who I know, like, they've got the money and they're able to keep up with that lifestyle.
They've
but
got 30K. I'm trying to understand, who has the 30K?
The 30K is with the lady who's, how can I even say this?
Who's depending on a man?
Not really depend on a man.
She's independent?
Always, okay, but they do depend on men as well.
What I'm saying is, you're giving an example of like a lady, she's dependent on a man.
Yeah.
And she's got 30K, right?
Yeah, like in
now what
account.
I'm saying is 30K is a lot.
They don't even have that.
Yeah, they don't have that. I think maybe you think when you see them in the club, they've got a 30 pin.
I mean, that's why, okay, I'm one person. I'm not really into the club, but you know, most of the people I know are party poopers, and then I'll be watching people say, I'm like, hey, these people have got the money, you know. You see,
I don't think they've got 30K, man.
So that's the thing, and
but
it's
anyway, continue what
brought
you're
up like
explaining.
young women are now trying to keep up with that lifestyle. So you find young ladies in university, then you know, there's peer pressure there. It's like, I don't know, it's like a trend to them. Every weekend, the more bottles you pop, the more you're happening. The more champagne bottles you pop on your status, the more you're happening. For me, when I see such, I'm just like, okay, this is, I can't call it wasting money, but then, because they're not the ones paying for those drinks at the end of the day. I feel, you know, right now it's all fun and games, but then one thing, I'm one person who thinks on the long run, you know.
Yeah, long term.
Right now, you might be a fine girl. You know, but these youngsters are bathing as well. The 208, 206 are coming up, you feel, and then you'll be in your 30s, and then the truth about all this is those bottles, those old guys, the same way they were buying you those bottles, they want something looking fine on their table as well. Then there's you in your 30s, and you know, women with age, it's different with us men. You know, there's a difference. When we're coming up, we don't have enough money, but we obviously make it. And then when we make it, we now look better. And then the ladies,
We've got experience.
That's the thing.
You know what I mean?
the ladies are fine, the 17s to 30, 35. Then after that, it's an auntie.
Yeah, and I like to one thing I've noticed, especially with blessers, is okay, for you, you're an exception, or maybe for me, you know, okay, for me, I feel like I'm coming up at the right rate. You know what I mean? I don't always put pressure on myself to feel like I should be as wealthy as some of these older men, because it actually takes time, especially if you're building substantial wealth. It takes time. Most of these older blessers and stuff, they're usually 45, 50, 55, 60. And I'm patient. And I also don't want to be in a situation where I'm already wealthy and then now, you know, sort of what you're going through, trying to find a partner and stuff because you already have a lot of money. So I want to build.
I don't have a lot of money. My business,
you have a lot of money.
My business, me personally, branch under is broke. The business is at least it's getting there.
You have a lot of money.
And it's a business, bro. It's not me. Even if you meet me, I'm just that simple guy. Many people meet me you're branch, and I'm like, yes, it's me.
But okay, I feel like you're also I feel like you're going to get wealthy.
Yeah, with time, because I believe what you build fast easily gets destroyed. So I feel steps, you have to learn, and it's better. It's nice the same way. I've seen your growth, you can see the graph. It's stable and it's getting stronger day by day. The same thing with me. We've been on the streets, we got jobs, went to school and stuff. So I feel each man has to go through those phases. You don't have to put yourself pressure. This Bali has bought. What is your? You enjoy your Bali's. Wait, what do you guys say? This Bali has bought my pie some champagne. Then you feel pressure, and you're only 22 years, bro. And then that bill was 20K. Don't blow it. Don't try to impress your girl. Just go back to the grind. Push harder. We'll afford those things. It's just with time.
Facts.
You can't compete with someone who's in their 40s. You're in your 20s. It's almost impossible. So
Facts.
it will take time for you to build your career, and then if you lose yourself, those ladies will run away from you because that blesser bought them those champagne bottles and you try to impress her. Let me give a good example. Like a young guy, you're dating this fine girl, you know, sometimes you just need to understand certain pressure. You're dating a fine girl, so you have to put in the hard work. But then you shouldn't reach that point. If you feel your ladies out there, she toilets men buying bottles and stuff like that. Of course, other girls, I can't even explain this. Okay, the fact is, don't try to compete with the older men who buy the bottles for the young ladies, because you have a long way to go. And then when you mess up your growth, you shake it. Let's say the fund you've been keeping, trying to compete with those men, and then you lose track. And then these women, of course, they'll find something better. So I feel as a young man, you have to focus. But if you have a stable girlfriend who's supporting you, who believes in you, most important, who wants to see you do better, keep that girl. But then if you see it's part of these slay queens that we're seeing around, I feel it's better if you just stay back. Yeah, slay queens, bro. It's quite hectic. It's better you just stay back and then just build yourself, With time, we'll catch up. It might not happen now, but one day we'll catch up.
What's crazy is there's a lot of pressure, especially when you go to the club. Okay, for me, whenever I used to go to the club, most of the club owners would give me free bottles.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't spend anything, because me, I can't. Okay, I won't lie. Even my girl, she knows. For me, I can only buy her alcohol, maybe wine when there's an occasion, or her birthday. But just anyhow, spending on alcohol,
for us, it's different when I hit the club. That's why I barely go in that place, because I live
I
too
don't
much
like that
money
thing.
in there.
Where you spend, you drink it, then you wee. Then you go and wee. 20 pin.
Out.
I want to invest. I want to shoot a film. I'm thinking people are willing to win with 50 pin.
Nah. 20,000 and stuff.
Nah. I'm sorry.
Once in a while, just to freshen up and stuff. But I'm not even a club person. I've been in the club maybe once in 3 months.
But Satik, you can't be spending rack on alcohol. You're trying to
Once a while,
brand. You
once a
go
while.
to them and say, bring alcohol here, man. The gram will be lit. I'll put you on. You need to start having like relations.
Yeah,
I'm sure
I
they
feel
want
so.
you in
I
the
feel
club.
so. I feel so. But then,
But I feel like you've got you. But still, that's what I'm saying. You've got money.
I
Kyrie.
don't know.
It's
I
just-
don't, boss. Once in a while, like I said, once in a while. You
Yeah,
need
it's
to just
important.
freshen up and
How often do you go to the club?
maybe I would say, I love drinking from home. Honestly, I love having like private parties, maybe home. I invite
With your models, right?
not the models, but
Have you ever had like your models just showing your models at your
I
house,
don't-
low key?
I have friends, just female friends.
How
come
many
over.
female friends did you
Whatever
invite?
number can come through. You have a pool party home and you just enjoy. I feel it's cheaper that way. In case that guy wants to be having fun. I feel the club for a young person, honestly, is not a place I advise. Like someone who's actually building their career, I wouldn't advise you to be going to the club constantly, because I've had friends who I was coming up with, and I'm not lying this to you. Like even till now, it's like an addiction. He'll make the money. Let's say he makes 50,000. Boom, the weekend, the club. He's back again. Starts hustling from scratch again. The weekend, they spend that money. So I advise, like if you love such, you love to party, just do it from home. It's cheaper.
Yeah, even the bottles are cheap.
It's way cheaper. Way cheaper. You like
Be smart.
2-3 times the amount you spend in the club.
Be
So
smart.
it's a smarter way than you spending all you're working hard for to impress the ladies. And it's a thing with the guys. Like once you just go to the club, you just want the ladies to they have to come on my table. But I feel as a young person, it's something you have to move away from.
Yeah.
And with time, as I said, I always respect time. That's why I always have long-term plans. When I say, okay, but when I'm 25, I have to be here. When I'm 30, I have to be here. But in my 40s, I have to be here. And then,
Yeah.
plan your life like that. Because, once you mess up now, it's hard to come back up when you break something down that you've been working on for a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's also very difficult right now to find a partner as a young person, even like as a guy, because, especially like your 20s, now that like we're in our 20s,
That place has pressure.
It's a very sensitive time. Like you have to invest. It's number one, you're figuring out what you want to specialize in, because like even you as Chanda Brian, you might change. You
Yeah.
might now focus maybe on just like
That's the
cars
thing.
alone.
Or venture into other things day by day.
Yeah, and then like you also need to invest and build your network and build your brand. For me, brand is everything.
Yeah.
Brand is everything. For me, I know other people invest in other like business entities. I feel like I will dabble into that. But for me,
But
my
for now, I
brand,
feel-
because even just like Nike, just the tick, it being involved in anything involves a lot. It carries weight.
Yeah.
So for me, I'm always big. When I get money, it's about investing it into my brand, whether it's my content, whether it's like content I'm putting out on Instagram, on YouTube, just so that like I build my network. And it works because these people, they watch. Some of these brands I get into affiliate marketing with, they watch. I'm also in a position right now when I'm ready to diversify into something else. I can sit down with some of these people because they've seen the content. It grows your network.
True.
So for those who are aspiring, you want to start a brand, like invest. If you got a brand, you get a 30 pin, you drink all of it. Like you'd rather invest back in your brand. And that's one thing I feel like you've done. Without your brand, it would have
It
been
would
way
be rough.
difficult.
Yeah, and I actually, sometimes I'm grateful because I started my brand at an early age.
I also
And
wish I
feel-
started my brand.
Yeah.
When you
and
started, because
it's-
when
it's
you
lesser
started, I was
pressure.
just like, I was coming to you like, yo, I want to do marketing, but I should have just started then. But yeah,
I
continue.
feel so. But anyway, yeah, you're actually pushing. So I feel for a young person, the 20s, it's actually pressure. Even for me, I won't lie, the 20s are a lot of stress because you're at a point where, you're trying to invest in yourself. Then if you have a partner, it even becomes worse. Your partner is expecting things that she like, things that I don't know if these guys see it on TV. We're in Zambia, guys. Come on.
Can you name something like in a situation you've been where like a girl like requested something ridiculous where you're like, nah.
Bro, I don't mean like my ex-partners, but certain women who I even talk to, like, you be like, you're vibing, then you're even hoping like this should be the right person. I just slap you like, I think I need a car, and they'll be like, boss.
A Benz.
Boss.
What car?
boss.
What car? Does she specify what car she wants?
But it's obvious there has to be something a bit luxurious, So I feel the 20s, bro. When I was like in my teenage, let's say the 18s, there was so much, I wouldn't say so much money, because that money I had back then in my 20s is like just change. I won't even lie to you. There's so much to do. You now have workers to pay. You now have investments.
Rent.
Now imagine you receive pressure from a girlfriend who's not understanding, just wants you to be sending money. So I feel it's when many people have these mental breakdowns, others lose themselves. But if you're someone who's lost yourself as of now, I feel it's time you have to get up. It's time for you to now like focus and get back to the basics. It's I'm sure you've learned a lesson. When you fail, you learn.
Yeah.
So I feel it's a lot of pressure in the 20s for the guys compared to the ladies, because for the ladies, most at least in their 20s, like they're living the life. Honestly, it's like they're just on that point. But then there's you, a young person who's like, will my life be set? What will I do for the future? And then there's the other part, you're trying to impress the people around you. What do they think of me if I'm in the same trousers the whole week?
Yeah,
what
true.
do these guys think of me? I got the club, I don't have money to put, because I see that a lot happening,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like to touch on that. Like, when you got like a Mercedes, I was talking to my girl about it. I was like, should I also get a Mercedes? Like, I feel
That's
like
something I planned for. I won't even lie to
you and your maps need to become brand ambassadors. Because, I like the first thing that Zambian standards were a bit low when it came to cars before.
Yeah.
Like, no offense, but like, it would always be Japanese cars and they're very cheap, But when you guys started like getting Mercedes, right? It was like, like from there now we'll probably start going to Porsche, because I've always been like, I want like a Porsche, like
Same.
you know what I
same,
mean?
same.
Like, but I was talking to my girl, I was like, should I get a Benz? But I feel like for me, if I got like a car, like a Mercedes or anything, I'd be doing it to show people that like I can do it. I feel like for you, you've always loved like rewarding yourself.
Yeah.
I feel like I see it in you, like you like rewarding
Yeah,
yourself.
like for me, so one thing, like if you're a person who wants to buy like luxurious cars, you really need to have a plan. You don't have to start your business money or anything. It just has to be that change that you just have aside. Like even if I spend this, I'll.
What about people who want to pay like monthly? Because there's these car dealers now. They've actually got like proper plans. Like they've got a plan where I was looking at it like some it's like 6, 5,
5 years.
7K a month
But,
for like a really good car. And I was like, this is like very affordable. For like a year, 6 months. I was like,
It's
this is
affordable,
very
but I
affordable.
feel for me, like my opinion on that, I feel it's affordable, but then it drains you off on the long run. Let's say you pay like 2 times the price, if I'm not mistaken. Let's say that's like
The one I saw, it was the same buying price. I think there was a car for like 220, and they're like, you can buy it cash. It was in good condition. You can buy it cash, or you can pay installments. So I just divided. I looked at what I can like monthly. It was looking like 7, 8K a month, and it looked like something I can afford. And like sometimes some of these deals I'm in are for like minimum
Monthly
is like
payments.
6 months. Sometimes we end up extending, but there's always like something going on. You know what I mean?
yeah, but
So I'm always like, it looked like really affordable, but I just didn't do it because I want to invest in the content for me.
Yeah.
Like if I have to do a feature film, it would be expensive. I
That's
can't be
actually
paying
true.
for an
So
expensive
like
car
for me,
right
I'm
now.
always the guy. I look on the risk part of any. So that's like you're getting a loan, and I feel I never even many people who come for business advice from me. I always tell them never get a loan to start up a business. A loan is something you get for a profitable business. Like you have to have stable records. Like if I do this, it will come up like this. The minimum risk I'll get is money that I'll be able to pay back this loan, not a risk where you lose it out and you remain in debt. So it's the same thing that happens to a car. Be it, yes, you have these monthly deals, and then, there are risks. That contract cuts. You get, what will you do? You remain in debt. Imagine sometimes things become hard. Like you'll be making, let's say, 50, 100K a week or something like that, but then just have a slow week. You just make like 3K, and then you have those other fixed payments that you have. So I feel as a young person, you don't really have put pressure on you, but I feel if you plan better, you make wiser decisions. So I always advise someone to have a plan. If you're getting a car, by the end of the year, I need a car. Better you're saving that money and just always good to buy things on cash. I don't really advise debt, these payment plans and stuff. Not like I'm saying it's a bad thing. If you have a plan quite well with like reputable profits that are constant.
Or like a stable income.
Yeah, a stable income, then you're good to go. But then if you have that good days, bad days, I don't think it's something I advise someone to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is the last question. This was from Instagram. It's a question to both of us, but you'll start. It's what are your biggest insecurities?
My biggest insecurities. Okay, that's
It's a tough one, yeah.
That's a
I'm
tough
also I'm
one.
thinking. That's
I'm
what
also
should,
thinking. I think
I was
you
saying
go
you should
first.
go. I should go
You
first.
go first.
I
My
wanted you to go first because
insecurities.
I was like, hey, this one.
Nah, you
My
go
biggest
first.
insecurities. Let's see. I think for me, I have this problem. I'm very toxic to myself. Like whenever I create content, in the midst of when I'm creating something or something artistic or creative, I after some time I start looking down on it. I start looking down on it. I start looking down on it. And sometimes certain content like TILU needs me to keep pushing it the whole year. But like already I started going through a phase. I was like, I don't like this. This is trash. You know, I can do better. Other people are doing better. I start going into a spiral. Like even just watching Netflix, sometimes I'm like, people are doing big things. I'm here, you know, but forgetting that like I went just from Lusaka Startup Park to This is Lusaka. This is like my second project. Like, why should I start putting pressure on myself on my second project? Some of these people have been in the industry for 13 years. I do research. I find out they've been in the industry for 20 years. So I think the only things that make me insecure sometimes over time is my past work. But I need to stop doing that. Like, I need to stop personalizing it. I need to stop making it about me. Because other people, it makes them feel different. Like This is Lusaka already is really touching people. Every day, whenever I go out, somebody tells me about This is Lusaka. Even right now, before we shot the podcast, somebody told me, yo, This is Lusaka is really deep. It made me reflect. I called my girlfriend. I told her that, like, yo, we need to sort some things out about things we've been through. Even though a lot of people are trying to reject it, because in Zambia, people like comedy. It's always comedy, but like this time I tried something new. So that's just my biggest insecurity is like, looking down on my work over time. I need to stop doing that.
Okay, it's back to me. Not yet. I'm thinking. I have, I think, 3 insecurities though. But my biggest insecurity is something similar to you. You know, sometimes when I order things in bulk, you know, sometimes you know, it's a bulk purchase, so you don't expect everything to be right. So I'm a bit lazy, and then I have that perspective like, if I advertise this, what do people think? What would it affect on my brand? I remember there was that time. Remember when I had that buds when this Mataki name came
Yeah,
from?
Mataki. And you know, you're so strong. You embrace it. Even post the Facebook.
Bro.
Mataki.
Imagine why people are now just saying, this
We
guy
must even
sells.
do a song and say we can put Mataki in the music video. Boda.
So, you know, like, imagine why people gang up when you say, you sell fake shoes, what. Then I feel that made me insecure, because way back I was known for that, like original kicks, expensive stuff and stuff like that. But then look at it, it's what I'm making most of my money out of it. So sometimes, you know,
So people buy like.
last. Not
So they're
even,
just trolling, but they buy.
not even as people who comment trash on Facebook. It's how I even know this is the top selling product instantly. That's just it. It's always like that. So when people talk trash about you on the ground, that people are interested. So, you know, and then I had no idea out of all that bullying I went through, I sell fake shoes, I'll make the most money out of it. Because right now the sneakers are top selling. I can get maybe 2,000 pairs.
So wait, you know the Mataki thing was a mistake. Like,
It was a mistake.
But
It
now
was,
you've
it was
embraced
a, it
so
was
you-
a bad stock purchase from my suppliers.
so now you are ordering them on purpose.
Beyond. And then
It's
and I
business.
feel-
It's business. We
as
invest
long
the
as
money.
you know, you need to make the money, and then at the end of the day, if you actually think of it, if you look at our economy, like not everyone will afford to buy luxurious goods.
demographics,
Yeah,
facts. That's
most
smart.
people are the middle class, and then they just want
Even low
something
class,
affordable. Because there's sometimes like you just find a creepy looking shoe, like it's just a shoe, there's no brand, nothing. Someone will come, how much is this? 90 kwacha. They'll be like, serious, 90 kwacha. Let me have 5 pairs, you see? Yeah. And then for me, it's the more numbers that I sell, the more money that I make. So I feel that's one thing I embraced. And then the other insecurity I have, I think that's enough for people to know. The other insecurity,
No, go in, open up. We're here to open up. Plus, you know why I'm saying you can open up? I feel like you can handle it. Like,
you know,
you're strong now. Like, you're the international Onyx. They can't. What can they say that
Like,
they
okay.
haven't already said to you?
for me, the other insecurity I have is like I feel I'm afraid of like being in a crowd in an open place, 'cause I love. Yeah, so like for me, I feel so comfortable at my shop because I've been in town for the most. Even if I go in someone's shop in like a short and slippers, like a vest, no, and we'll just do business real quick. But I feel when I'm out there, it's always like, how am I looking? How will people see me? Like, how do I present myself on social media? Then when I'm within town, like it's all vibes. Even if I'm literally, I'll be in dirty jeans, the dirty shirt, business will go, customers will come through, chat and stuff like that. But then it's a different perspective. I remember there was this time I attended a public event. Hey, my outfit wasn't on point. Yo, right, that people would throw
But when
you.
right now you texted me, you said your outfit is not
No,
on
this
point.
is not on point. Right? Look at my hair. It's like honestly.
Machanda brand.
So if you, but those are things that I learned. Like people, they'll throw you on your outfit. This is not right. But then, for me, I feel when such happens to me, that's how I even get over it. I now feel comfortable. I'll go at the mall in slippers. I walk around the store. People ask for pictures here, there. I will take the pics and stuff like that. So I feel, for me, that's what one thing I'll just say. Someone who has so many insecurities, I feel open up. It might be your strong field. You know, you might learn from it, or you might even make money out of it. Like look at me, it's the same applies to what's this phone that people keep roasting, the XR body of a 14 Pro. You know how many we sell those in a week? People buy those like crazy.
You know, the time I hated, like, okay, I hated Apple and like the prices and like some of the features are still the same. Like XR camera is really good.
It's really good.
So I was like, you know, because I got like a new phone, I was upgrading and I was thinking, you know,
Your previous phone was better.
I should just maybe just get XR, put it in the body of a 14 Pro, you know what I mean? Or
So
like
you
a
see,
13 Pro.
But
Like,
when
you know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, if you're trying to upgrade, especially if you're not a content creator, what's the point of like getting a 14 Pro Max? The only reason I had
phone.
to like actually upgrade is because like I'm now vlogging. Like I've been vlogging on Facebook, I'm taking pictures, so I actually do need it's an asset. But for people like you don't take pictures, you're not photogenic, you have no pictures on your socials, you have no business stressing yourself
pointless.
for a new
It's
phone.
pointless.
Get the XR, put it in the 13 from Chanda Brand Innovation.
So you see, like
You know what I mean?
the first time I ordered those phones, I posted them online. Then I received backlash. People are commenting, "Why such? Why such?" But then you know, I felt that thing like, "Ish, what
I've
will
performed."
like I even scared put the phone on display. The next day, people are coming to buy it like no man's business. And till date, it's still top selling. So I feel certain insecurities that we have are actually things that other people will perceive. So once we get comfortable in our space, open up and, you know, someone might like. If they don't like it, you learn from it and just improve on something, you know.
You
But
won't
I
lose
feel-
anything from trying.
Yeah, but I feel if you have insecurities, just open up. It might be the strongest field that you ever have, you know.
Facts.
Yeah.
Facts. I feel like on insecurity, one thing I've noticed with like, because you talked about social anxiety, or just like being insecure about like selling. Somebody told me something because I was also contemplating this thing of like starting to ask for like donations for my content.
Yeah.
I asked somebody who's really wealthy. I'm like, what do you think? Do you think it suits my brand? He's like, don't be ashamed to hustle.
That's the thing.
Don't be ashamed to hustle. And then I started going through successful content creators and other creatives. They actually do blatantly say somebody will be on 1 million subscribers.
Look at even
And
the
he'll
old
be like,
people.
yeah, like,
the
yo,
Chinese
donate.
guys around, the stuff they sell. It's these simple things that will just make your life easier at a low cost, and they've made so much money out of it.
Facts.
And it's so sad that among ourselves we try to pull each other down. You see something that's not right, you're trying to act like you know you're able to afford the actual thing, but then on the actual field, when it's you versus your bank account, it's something you can't even pay for. You know? You actually need the product. So I feel it comes back to us to, you know, we need to stop this, what do they call it? Put down PhD, whatever, you know. I feel it's high time. Once we just work together, imagine we have like 10 of people like Mix Kasamwa, we have 10 people like me, the world will change.
The economy will change. I feel like
Yeah.
if you have nothing good to say, guys, in Zambia, especially with Zambia, I understand
Keep
haters
quiet
are there and
sometimes.
stuff, but sometimes in Zambia it's too much. Like if you have nothing good to say, just don't say anything or go talk about it privately because somebody here is hustling, like he's pushing.
That's the
So
thing.
you're not going to get anything from trying to pull someone down, you know.
At the
So I
end
don't know,
of
are you
the
going to
day-
go into your third insecurity? We're about to wrap up.
My third insecurity, I think this is enough, I feel it's enough.
I think you've really like opened up.
I think the third one should be, okay, I'm just scared to find the wrong partner, honestly. Yeah. I have, that's the other thing that I'm just scared about. That's why I'm taking time with myself.
I think I like the way that you're spending time being alone now, you know,
Yeah.
and you're focusing on yourself, like with the gym. Like you found a lot of productive outlets. I feel like that's one thing that's really going to like keep you pushing, is that in the midst of everything, you're trying to figure these things out, you're expressing yourself through productivity. But I still know, like deep down in my heart, that like, yeah, I love a boy, and I still feel like you will find like
I
the
was,
queen.
I
Listen,
did. I was.
guys who are watching this,
I
guys, if you
was.
know that like you have got good work ethic, you are respectful, you want to build.
I'll chop you. Just behave. Stay
Guys.
where you are.
If you know, maybe you need 3 years. Just keep working so that you can reach Chandra Bryan, you can qualify.
I repeat,
You
I'm
know
a
what I
bad
mean?
boy. I'm not called Solomon for nothing. So just stay in your lane. I focus
At
on
your
you.
own risk,
Yeah, at your
obviously.
own
Don't
risk.
you stay mixed. Look,
Don't say I didn't
at your
warn
own
you.
risk. But yeah, back to social anxiety. I feel like that's also something I struggle with. Like, especially when you become popular on social media.
Yeah.
Whenever you go out there, there's always this voice in your head saying, I
I
wonder what
need
people
to
are
have
saying.
this view. How
Yeah.
are they looking at me right now?
What are they
you
saying?
know?
Am I looking fine? Is this fine? Maybe this is funny. Are they going to drag me about this today on
That's
social
the
media?
thing.
You know what I mean?
That's the thing.
So, but I've realized sometimes it's just our perspective. Because like even the shoes, the mataki,
Yeah.
it's perspective, it's reference. Some other people, they don't care about brands and
Yeah, that's
buying
true.
something original. Hype beasts are the ones who love that. But there's also a demographic of people who are like, listen, I want a shoe that will keep my foot off the ground. Full stop.
That's it.
So I think it's now just perspective, where now you start putting that pressure on yourself. Like you have to impress everyone. It's like you can't impress everyone. At the end of the day, if it's putting food on the table, it is what it is, you know?
True.
So yeah, anyway, guys, we've come to the end of our podcast. And make sure to comment, subscribe, like this with somebody that you think needs to watch this. Chandra Bryan, thank you for pulling up. I think I enjoyed this one more than the last one.
Same. I've enjoyed this one.
It
more
was
'cause,
fun.
wish we would go over and over. And
Yeah,
over.
there's so much we can talk
There's
about.
so
but I'll
much.
keep bringing you because I
Yeah,
actually enjoy
we
the conversations.
need another one.
Sometimes
we
I
need
don't
another
talk to you on purpose because I know I'm like, when we come on like a podcast, I
We'll
want it
catch
to be
up.
authentic. Yeah, we'll catch up on the podcast.
Yeah, true.
Anyway,
true.
peace.